everyone, I'm Janyawheeler and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I wanted to give you a video dedicated to how much you may need to purchase a home. In my last video, I gave you the quick rundown, the step-by-step guide on what it means, or like what is the process of purchasing a home and what that looks like. And like I said, every transaction is different. So we may have got past that. Okay, now we know how to purchase a home, but the next question is, how much do I need to purchase a home? And I wanted to make a video dedicated to that. So without further ado, let's get started. You want to purchase a home and you don't know how much money you should have saved, or you probably did save up and you may not think it's enough money to purchase a home. I'm here to give you a guide, an example of how much you should probably save or want to save to purchase a home. I am not a financial advisor. However, I've done enough deals to where I've seen multiple things across the board. I've seen people literally go to the closing table with $0 and getting money back from the transaction. I've seen people go to the table with $5K, $4K, $9K, $12K, $75K. It just all depends on who you are and what your process looks like. Now, one thing that I do want to say is I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that all things are possible through and with him. So don't let this video derail or detour you from purchasing a home. I don't want you to hear these numbers that I'm saying and be like, oh, I don't have too much. If you have faith, it's according to your faith. If you have faith, put your faith out there and see what happens. Like it says, we do the natural, let God do the supernatural. So I've seen it all, and just believe God, trust God. If you believe it's your time to move, if you sought him, if you believe that's the desire of your heart at this current moment, don't let these numbers detour you, or I don't want you to hesitate because of what you heard in this video. And I don't want you to be discouraged also. So let's get started. So before I get like really into this video, I'm going to give you all three terms that we are going to discuss. First is your deposit money, which I've talked about in my last video. So your deposit money is a certain amount of money that you have to pay after that offer has been under contract. That can be $200, $500, $1,000, or 1% of the purchase price. Typically, it just depends on what you and your realtor has agreed to put on that contract. And then after that contract, you have about, typically on a contract, I would say 3 to 4 days to get it turned in to the title company to basically show I'm serious about this property. And it is deducted off of your amount. So you have your deposit turned in. Next, we're going to talk about the down payment. The down payment is how much you have to put down on the property. The down payment varies depending on the loan that you have and the interest rate that you were approved for. For this case, let's say for an FHA loan, you have to put down at least 3.5% of the purchase price. Now, keep in mind that this is leased. It can be over 3.5%, but for the sake of this video, let's just say 3.5%. And we're gonna also talk about the $250,000 that we discussed in my last video. So we're gonna keep that example just so I can make things as clear as possible. So next, we're gonna talk about the closing costs. The closing costs, it's not a fixed amount typically, so I can't really give you all a hard figure. It all just depends on the sale and the transaction. So this actually includes things such as attorney fees, processing fees, title fees, recording fees, like so many different types of fees that are like in the transaction. So this is where we typically try to ask the sellers to negotiate and like at least cover a certain amount of closing costs, because those things are not really fixed and they can really take a toll on the buyer side depending how much it comes out to be. So let's do a little bit of math here. So you want to purchase a home, let's say for $250,000. Got approved for an FHA loan to put down 3.5%. So we're going to do $250,000 times 3.5% puts you at $8,750 that we have to put down on the property. So off the bat, that is a non-negotiable number. You already have to bring $8,750 to the table, not including your closing costs. So say for the sake of this video, your closing cost was, let's say $5,500. So we're gonna do $5,500 plus that $8,750. So let's say now you have to bring $14,250 to the closing table. Now there's a lot of different things that's also factored in to your closing costs, especially because there's like different types of things that goes into your final payment, such as you're paying up a month on the property, then you've already paid HOA for the year, then you already paid for the rest of the taxes at a prorated amount. So there's there's so many different things that goes into this bottom line number that honestly it's so hard to just kind of tell people how much to bring, because it's really a case-to-case basis. So off the bat, we have $14,250 that we have to bring to the closing table, hypothetically speaking, and this is on the low side. This is not even including half of the things that is really put into this loan, but for the sake of this video, we're just gonna say $14,250. I always tell people, this is where I love to ask, even if you are a realtor, always negotiate your closing costs for your clients, because the worst thing that people could say is no. Or most times they say, hey, I can't do all of this amount, but we can do X, Y, Z, and that's better than nothing. Say that the seller cannot give you all $10,000 to help with your closing costs. So we will deduct the $14,250 and say they say, okay, we can't give you that amount, but we can give you $7,500. Then literally you're bringing $6,750 to the closing table. Like I said, please don't quote these numbers, because this is not like all of the fees included in the bottom line figure that we're talking about. This is like the light side being the low side of things. So that's the example that I'm trying to give. Like, one, make sure that your realtor is asking for closing costs to be covered, because literally $5,000 helps, $2,000 helps. That's better than nothing. You're getting like a mini discount, but not really a discount, but you're getting help on the closing cost side because it's not fixed. So you just never really know until you get that final Alta or HUD or, you know, the CD as well. The amount that you have to bring to closing depends on the purchase price. So, you know, if you're going for obviously a house that's a little more on the 300s or 400s side or high 200s side, you know, you're looking at, you know, more down. And then if you're looking at a home under 200,000, of course you're bringing a little less to the closing table. So it just depends on everything. It just depends on so many different types of things. Like I said, the interest rates, you know, how much your loan requires you to put down, the different types of fees that are in there that are not fixed fees, but it's just, you know, a type of service fee. When there's different services involved, it's kind of hard to tell you guys like a set figure. But I will say, starting out for a comfortable amount, I would probably say at least 10K. And even if you don't use all that 10K, on the brighter side, you still have more money for, like, you know, furnishing your home, or, you know, paying up on your mortgage. You know, just having that extra money aside never really hurts, even if you don't use all of that 10K. And even if you have less than 10K, let me tell you, I've seen some beautiful cozy homes that literally the buyer came in with less than 10K. So it's possible. Depends on how much you were approved for. And I keep reiterating that because it's literally facts. I can't tell you have $5,250 set aside. I can't say that because it's a case-by-case basis. So honestly, that's pretty much all that I can say for this video. I tried my best to kind of give you guys some, you know, definitions and guide you a little bit without giving financial advice or being a loan officer, because that is not in my wheelhouse as yet. So for this video, I can only tell you based off my experience, based off my knowledge and what I've encountered in the field. And what I will say is I've seen it all. Like I said, seeing people go to the closing table with $0 and gain the money back, seeing people go with 5K, 4K, 3K. It just all depends on the transaction. So that was all for this video. Hopefully it helped you and guided you on where you need to like steer or where you need to go. Or even if you say, hey, let me start looking for a home in XYZ price range. And when you start there, you can kind of, you know, see and work your numbers, or even reach out to a loan officer to help you, because there's a lot of loan officers out there who are helpful. Now, there's also ones out there who just want to get a quick check and don't care about the details. But like I said, let God lead you, pray about it, let God guide you to the right people, the right realtor, the right loan officer, and help you with this process. And I'm gonna go off on a tangent really quickly, but I know when it comes to purchasing a home, a lot of people's hesitation is their credit score is low. But before you strongly believe that for yourself, ask a professional, a loan officer, sit down with them, tell them the numbers, let them see the credit score, and let them look at it thoroughly and help you to say, hey, you know, it's not that bad. We can see what we can work with, because you just never know. People like to disqualify themselves before they even get into the game. And it's like, don't hold yourself back because of what you think. That is all for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact information will be down in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you all in another video. Bye.